Hello. Well, as you might know, I'm a type 1 diabetic and I've been talking about it more recently, especially after I had a DKA back in April. Um, I've actually got the new Libre arm sensor now to check my blood sugars. But something I get asked a lot on Twitter, mainly because you don't see me in real life, is how do I take my insulin? How does that go? So I thought I'd make a video about that. So obviously there's going to be a trigger warning for needles here. So the first thing I do is I take my insulin pen. This is my one for meals. I've got this one for background insulin as well, which I take at 8:30 p.m. So I've already done that today. But this is it here. It's a Novo Nordisk Nova Pen Echo. Something numbers after that, but it's quite a good one. It's in red. I like red. Normally it's meant to display the amount of insulin you take at the top when you press it there, but that button's broken for me after a long time of usage. Got my insulin in the pen there. It's pretty much still a full vial because I only changed it a couple of days ago. And I attach these needles on them. So there's a process to this, which I'll do in front of the camera. You take the paper off and you screw the needle onto the end. It's really hard to do with arm stretched out. Oh shit. And then you take the white shield off. Then there's a second green shield, which helps you know that you've not used that one before, because you don't put that back on, which you pull off. As you can see, even if you are afraid of needles, tiny little baby one there, which generally speaking makes the injection so much less painful. Then I wind up the insulin pen to, well, they say normally about 0.5, but I wind it up to 2. And then I just squish a little bit of insulin out. That's because I need to get the air out of the needle, because it's bad if you inject air. Don't know if you're aware of that. Also, it helps the needle be flush with insulin, so you get a better, more accurate amount of insulin to take, which I then do. I will wind up to a number that fits with whatever meal I'm having, how many carbohydrates are in that. So I'm having spicy chicken enchiladas. Now, meat's always carb free, but everything else is quite a lot more. I'm on a 1:5 ratio, which means for every 5 grams of carbohydrates, I take 1 unit of insulin. At least at the minute, it's changing because my blood sugars are fucking everywhere. So I'm going to take 27.5 units today because my blood sugars are currently high. Lovely. I can take up to 30 units with this pen, so that's quite good. I've never seen ones that go higher. So yeah, I'm going to do that now. As you can see, it's wound up at the top here. And then I raise my stomach, and it's rare you'll ever see my stomach not tensed up here. So I've got to relax it. And then I inject it into my stomach with a little scoop in my fingers. And I won't speak through this because that is also a painful thing and it makes me tense up my stomach. I can also do it in my thighs, but generally speaking for public and videos and such, I'll just do around here. So you'll see a breathed out there, exhaled. That's because generally that's also good to help me detense. And then I'll leave it in for a couple of seconds after I've pushed the plunger all the way down, just to get any remaining insulin out of the needle. I put the white shield back on, wind it off, reattach the pen, wham bam, thank you ma'am. One more thing about the diabetes is there's a lot of misinformation about it. You might see I'm obviously very skinny. That's because diabetes is not tied to your weight, especially type 1 diabetes, which is what I have. It's a genetic condition for a lot of people. For me, it was triggered when I had scarlet fever the year before, and then there was a gradual sort of build up of the type 1 diabetes in me, which I was diagnosed with on May the 13th, 2015. I had quite a lot of time off school for that, missed my prelims, which, not complaining. Yeah, I was in the hospital for 2 nights, which is quite fast time for back then, especially for a younger person. I was in, just learned everything as quick as I could and got out, because the day I was diagnosed was the day I'd first got Netflix to watch Better Call Saul. I was really desperate to get out of the hospital to continue that. I've had 2 DKAs, which is diabetic ketoacidosis, where your blood sugars go so high to the point that your blood basically becomes acidic. And the first time was December 23rd, 2021. I had awful pain, I was freezing cold, I was getting nauseous, I was taken into the hospital in air, and they put me on morphine. There's some funny tweets out from that still. And then the second time was last month, which thankfully wasn't as bad, but still not great. So hopefully my blood sugar testing Libre monitor will be better for that. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you did, I'll probably have to set this up into like multiple videos, but good stuff. Catch you in the next one, shaggers. This is meant to stop recording, but it hasn't.